How would you define the music of Nirvana? With a twist of lemon.
Alright everybody, welcome back to Working Class Music. I am Tia.
I'm Jason.
And if you can't tell, I'm incredibly excited for today's episode. We are doing the Jag-stang.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Finally checking out the new for 2021 Fender Jag-stang, designed by Kurt Cobain himself.
How you people doing out there? All right, party.
You may have heard of Kurt Cobain, but if you haven't, he's that guy in that 90s deodorant music video, or that guy that was married to Courtney Love.
Or that guy from Dave Grohl's old band.
Kurt designed the Jag-stang to combine his two favorite elements of both the Jaguar and the Mustang, hence the name Jag-stang. And it was brought to life with the help from the Fender Custom Shop in 1993. Now, onto the specs.
The Jag-stang comes with an alder body. The 24-inch short scale reduces string tension for easier playing, and a 7.25 radius rosewood fingerboard with a maple neck, coupled with a vintage style single coil pickup in the neck position and a custom humbucker in the bridge position. Also, like the Mustang, it features an on-off, in-phase, and out-of-phase slider switches. With a switch for each pickup, players are able to dial in 4 distinct tonal combinations.
We're running a super distortion and feedbacker, DF2. It's like a DS1 on steroids. Yep. Now, onto the sound. And now for the clean part, I'm on just the neck position. The slider switches are a lot like a Mustang. When they're in the center, that pickup is no longer engaged. So if you see this one slid up, that's because it's just the neck position.
Alright, let's see what 90s non-Nirvana I can pull out of my ass. Alright, let's see. Put this one in the middle, and then we do this, and then, let's... Can I get a little bit of drive? TikTok time. I think I'm done with this.
Let's see it one more time. I looked up the tabs while you were playing.
No. You gotta tune it back up.
Ugh. Never mind, I can't play guitar.
Yeah, we did.
Never mind.
So, final thoughts.
Let you have the floor first.
If you can't tell from the smile on my face, I love it. I think Jason may feel the opposite that I do, but that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion, even if it's wrong. I don't know, it's so much fun, but then again, I'm also like half of a foot shorter than you, just child sized. So like just the shorter scale length neck just feels really, really comfortable for my tiny, tiny childlike hands. This humbucker is just mean. It's so nasty and it's so gnarly, and it just makes me want to go home and listen to like In Utero on repeat. Just,
You know you're right.
it's okay, I'll practice until one day I'm really, really good at guitar. One day I'll be in bloom.
Never mind.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, I mean, if you're a huge Nirvana fan, I wouldn't say that I'm a huge Nirvana fan. Like, I was obviously a huge fan growing up when I first started playing guitar in like middle school. Like, I just listened to bands like Nirvana and My Chemical Romance and Green Day over and over and over again. So that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from, is like just these kind of, I don't say angry chords, but just overdriven guitars and like, I don't know, just that kind of, I don't want to say teen angst, but kind of teen angst music, you know?
So my final thoughts. If you can't tell, I do not like the looks of this guitar.
I love it.
He's so ugly. I love him.
I don't. It just looks like, you know, like somebody just drew it and just tossed it together. Like, you know, if this had to be my signature guitar, I would probably too. But like,
I started thinking to myself, man, what did he do to make them that mad?
to me, to be frank, for looks, it's the ugliest Fender guitar, or one of them. If you can think of uglier guitars, leave them below.
Okay, I think it's cool because like he allegedly, story goes that Kurt Cobain literally cut it out of like, you know, magazines like from Fender ads and like taped it together like a serial killer. Like it was like a zodiac note to Fender. Like,
and allegedly he didn't like it, the one they sent him, but we're not supposed to discuss that. It's hideous, but once you get past its looks, there's a charm to it. I think it sounds great. The neck, although a bit smaller, I like the neck. And you know, the fact that Fender is doing Rosewood again.
Instead of Pal Ferro?
Yeah,
Like,
on a Mexican lineup, like, cause Pal Ferro, like,
scratchy.
that's a whole different discussion. But in terms of sound, if you want a 90s grunge machine, this is probably gonna be the best guitar to get. It does everything. That's, you know, I was pleasantly surprised by the humbucker and single coil combination, because outside of like Telly, you don't really see that combination a lot, and you don't really see it associated with the grunge sound, the Seattle sound of the 90s. I think, to sum it up, I don't like the looks. I'm not going to front about that. I think it's hideous. But I will dare say that if you are into the 90s sound, this is probably going to be the best guitar you can get for that, if you can get past its looks, which I'm sure people can, but that's just my opinion. I can't, but you know, I'm sure other people can. Like Tia likes it. That's
Okay, mister, I only play Tellys that are double bound.
like, what did everybody expect me to say?
I don't know. I am okay with that.
It does come in Daphne Blue, but it's still uglier in Daphne Blue. I will say this, going into this, because I only played the one available at my job, and I hated it. However, this one has been set up really nice, and it plays really good. So maybe the one I played was just a dud. So
I was gonna say, actually, just as a whole, to keep in mind for all the buyers out there, not even talking about this specific guitar, but just, I've noticed a lot of guitars in general, QC has just dropped. And I think that's because we're coming off the hills of the 2020 So, I mean, that's something to keep in mind because it hasn't just been these guitars. I've noticed a lot of different guitars from a lot of different companies where they are coming out of the factory with issues, and I think it's just been across the board. QC has dropped because people are trying to keep up with demand, so they're not really, you know, doing these final adjustments.
That's why it's important to see your local tech that you trust and get your guitar in playing condition.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I said, it changed my mind. Playing one that was set up horribly, I was ready to just rip this thing apart. I think they're going for,
I think $12.99.
yeah, $12.99 right now, and they are limited edition. This isn't going to be a regular production run because 2021, when we're filming this, is the 30th anniversary of
Nevermind.
Of Nevermind.
Yeah.
I thought the album was called Nirvana. With Reverb and the gear market, anything that's limited run just goes up in price. So pick yours up now.
Yeah. So I would say also for the folks at home who are wondering, I know that we couldn't get one of the Japanese ones in, but just from someone who has played the Japanese one specifically, like when we were in Nashville, this is very true to that feel and to that sound. I will say the humbucker is a little more muddy, but honestly, like, that's kind of nitpicking at that point. You can buy a JB, do the right thing, do it yourself, or take it to a tech. But if you're worried about the rest of it, just like the tuners feel really sturdy, the neck feels really good, and everything about it just feels solid. So don't fret, you know, with it being made out in Mexico, like, don't be that person. It's a great guitar.
With that said, I'll let Tia lead the conclusion.
I don't know, we pretty much said everything.
That's a goodbye.
All right, adios, y'all.
Laters.
Get your spoons ready, hide your shotgun from your wife, because